You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast with Janice, mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hello and welcome to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would talk about self-care. Practical, real, raw, how to get her done. So let's jump right in. In terms of self-care, this is a big hot topic all over the internet. Lots of people have their opinions. It's told to moms, it's told to teachers, it's told to frontline workers, it's told to everyone. We're supposed to do self-care. We're supposed to take care of ourselves. And oftentimes this comes with suggestions like take a bath or go to the grocery store by yourself or do these really kind of fancy elaborate things. You need to have a mani and a pedi or go for a massage. Make sure you go out with your girlfriends every week. And oftentimes these suggestions feel unrealistic. And I think that they are missing the point. Self-care can be this extravagant thing. Self-care can be this idea of filling up our cup with really joyful things. But the caveat that I really like to distinguish when it comes to talking about self-care and making it practical and realistic is that self-care literally means to care for ourselves, right? I'm caring for myself. So the perspective that I like to put into it is, how do I care for myself? How do I care for a human being? How do I look after myself with the same care and attention that I would look after someone else? So oftentimes my clients are moms, so this is kind of the spiel that I'll give them. Take it with a grain of salt. How would you care for a child? If someone gave you a child or you have a child of your own, what would you do in order to make sure that they are healthy, that they are thriving, and that they're living a good life? And I think oftentimes we think that means that I have to take away any of the hardship. I have to take all the bad things away. And that's just not true, right? It's building resilience, right? Caring for myself means building my resilience. Caring for myself sometimes means doing hard things. Caring for myself means that I'm doing all the things to make me operate optimally, right? To grow and to learn and to develop. The way that I kind of like to break it down is if you were hanging out with a toddler, you would make sure that they've eaten. You'd make sure that they've had a nap. You'd make sure that they go to bed on time. You'd make sure that you played with them and engaged with them, that they maybe had a friend to play with or somewhere social to go. You would also maybe read them a book or do some learning activities with them. You would give them a bath at the end of the day. And there's many other things, right? But this kind of idea of, have I taken care of my physical well-being? Have I taken care of my emotional well-being, right? You might need to kiss a boo-boo or hug a really sad toddler, right? So can I do that for myself? I'm going to need to make sure that my physical needs are met. Have I eaten? Have I slept? Have I drank water today? These are the forms of self-care that I think are really important and the things that we need to talk about. I need to take care of myself. And so I think this perspective of, if I was responsible for caring for someone else, how would I do that? And then I want to do that for myself. I want to have something fun and fulfilling in my life, but that's not going to be the whole day. I want to have fueling and energetic food, but I might also have a treat, right? These things where I want this more well-rounded experience. And so can I take that perspective of caring for someone else and do that for me? And again, it might include some of these fancier self-care things that we've seen thrown out through the internet and talks in self-care. But I think when it really comes down to it, self-care is this idea of caring for myself. And that means brushing my teeth and having a shower and eating. But it also means maybe reading a book or going for a walk with a friend, maybe grabbing takeout that week because I'm really exhausted, right? And so it's about finding that balance, finding that way through so that I'm caring for the whole being that I am. I'm taking responsibility for myself, loving myself, and caring for the person that I am. Okay. I hope you have found that helpful and that you can kind of see self-care in a different way when you're choosing what options you're going to do in order to take care of myself for that day. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts, both on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to join the conversation, leave a review, or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.